Do not, for any reason, ever share your private keys,
Don't do it.
phrases, passwords, or click suspicious links.
Ever.
Everyone all the time is trying to steal your stuff, so go slow and be careful. There's no point making all this money just to give it to a thief.
Yeah.
Tired of all the uneducated noise you're getting from the droves of YOLO meme coin peddling douchebag gurus out there trying to use you as their exit liquidity? Would you rather learn a competent university-level set of skills that will guide you in managing and investing for the rest of your life? Join us 3 days a week at Digital Investor. Develop your knowledge of game theory, cognitive bias, macroeconomics, monetary theory, investment theory, psychology of the crowds, and more. For more info on Digital Investor and how it can help you, reach out at nickblacknext.com.
Yeah, we all heard your stupid shake.
I know. I thought I hit the I touched the mute button, but I didn't press it all the way down. Oh, it's been a morning, Nick, and we have some serious housekeeping this morning.
Serious housekeeping.
You have no idea.
Not that flagrant, whimsical housekeeping.
No, it's the serious stuff. I'm gonna get like real. It might come across mean, but it's real serious.
Ooh.
I'm not that mean, but like, oh boy.
Let's see. On a plane, they have. Oh, you're watching. Yeah, you're on the phone, I guess. Man, it sucks now. Planes suck.
Planes
I was on
the worst. Public transportation at its worst.
I was on a plane and they're like, you can use your phone to watch videos. Dude, cars have TVs in them. A plane doesn't. Man, this plane sucks.
Yeah, they're cutting down on costs. They're saving money.
That's got to be like $4. I don't know. So they're not saving money. They're being dicks.
They're being mean. 2 live streams left today and Friday. We're super excited. There we go. Brandon, do you own any shirts? Good question. Good question.
None with sleeves.
Good question. No. I have this shirt that I brought out for Nick because he did something. This is the shirt that my wife got me. Can you read that, Nick?
Yeah, anyway, I can read it.
That's the shirt my wife got me. And I had to tell Nick a few of these quick little tips earlier this last week. So.
Okay. Should we do you want to get to the housekeeping stuff?
Yeah, I really do, but I'm not going to come across as mean, but it might sound mean. But honestly,
get to it, buddy.
Some of this stuff needs said.
Get to it.
So here's what we got going on. I know a lot of you guys are really excited about the hypercycle nodes. We have had a landslide of questions, which I love. And I am trying to answer those as much as possible, obviously. I have since then, and I'm going to get to this right at the top, I have created a spot on our website. If you go over to Hypercycle, there's a couple of screens here, and we're going to go over those now. We have a couple of new buttons in our member area, so we can check this stuff out. But when you place an order for Hypercycle nodes, a couple of things happen. One, the order goes through and we get the USDC or we get the Ethereum in our wallet. If it has not left your MetaMask wallet, the order didn't go through. If it's left your MetaMask wallet, we got the Ethereum or the USDT. And even if you haven't received confirmation, I'm going to talk about that in a second. If you haven't received confirmation, you will get confirmation. Now, when I say that, there is a thing called a junk email or a spam folder in your email box. And I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but there's a thing called a spam folder. And sometimes these order confirmations go to your spam folder because guess what? Whenever an order goes through here, I get an order, okay? And I have to go through and process these orders. If these ones are not processed yet, that's why they're not red. I keep them on red until I process them, right? If I get an email, that means you get an email. The computer doesn't say, oh, I'm going to send an email to Brandon and not you. I promise it sends it to both of us, okay? I promise you. So even I may resend this email. I have resent this email to one person up to 4 times until they finally listened to me and went and checked their spam folder. All 4 of those emails were in their spam folder. So please do me a favor and check your spam folder. If you guys made an order and you're expecting an email confirmation, check your spam folder, please, 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 before you email me 12 times. And I'm not frustrated about the email. I just don't want you guys to be frustrated about the email in that you think that you haven't made the order and it didn't go through. Now, please also watch my video on how to transact the process. If you go through all the steps, complete the order, a MetaMask box pops up. If you don't go sign a transaction in your MetaMask wallet, the transaction is not complete. You have to go through each of those steps. And iPhones are blocking all the pop-ups, okay? So if you're doing it on your iPhone and that MetaMask wallet does not pop up, the order is not complete, okay? I want you guys to understand that it is not complete until you guys sign that MetaMask.
But this is a teachable moment. Who should be doing MetaMask transfers on their phone?
Oh, I like this. Yeah, go ahead here.
Nobody.
All of my crypto on my PC. Like 0 do I do on my phone. I really
You
do.
cannot use these devices. It's too risky. I'm telling you, I lost 200 racks, $200,000 because right around there because I got SIM swapped.
Oh.
And I had everything protected, but what happened is they scrape your phone within like a millisecond. So if it's on your phone, there's a complex computer algorithm, AI based, going through and connecting dots, looking at everything. PDFs, images, Word files, stored everything. Now, none of my exchange accounts got whacked. But you know what did? Somewhere, somehow, I must have had, I don't know. And anyway, they got $200,000. So PC only, PC only, PC only. And when you're not actually doing a transaction, you don't even need to be, you don't even need to be online. Not with that computer. I would urge everyone to have a cryptocurrency specific computer. You can go get a MacBook Air or a little PC, one of these little notebook things for like $300 or $400. I don't know if MacBook Air is that cheap. I think it's like $500 or $600. But the point is,
I have to assume this is a joke, Sarah.
It's a lot less than 200,000.
Yeah. No, this is definitely a joke. There's no way this is happening, right? Anyway, so
that does not sound right.
That is definitely not something you're going to be doing.
Ever.
What order is asking for your 12-word password? This is not on our site. I can assure you.
No one will ever. Well, no. Let me say it correct. People will ask you for your passwords, key phrases, 12 words. Yeah, but they're trying to steal all your shit. Understand that. That's why we have that's why we have the posh English gentleman in the beginning of every show tell you not to disclose your private keys or passphrases because they will steal all of your stuff. That's why we do that.
Yeah, that was a joke. That had to have been a joke, Sarah. I get that.
Yeah.
Of other things. So let's get to this because I'm getting so many questions on Hypercycle. I've made a Hypercycle info page. So on this page, you can go through, you can check out like all the asked questions, and I'll be adding to this page frequently as I keep getting more and more questions. And maybe we'll talk about a couple of these big questions that I have not answered is, will there be a pool of tokens available for those who have licenses and not enough tokens? We're going to talk about that. Hardware, when is the hardware going to be online? We haven't talked about that yet. And then blardy. Let's see if there's any other big ones. Anyway, so we might have to talk about those ones because we haven't even talked about those or anything.
Kind of a couple of things. It's not so much like when is the hardware. Technically, there's computer hardware all over the place that would suffice. When are the devices that are going to be shipped, the hyper boxes or hyper appliances from Hypercycle? They're working on the first batch of so many thousands of those units. They plan on the initial first run being 52,000 units, and I would expect that in late September to October for those to ship. Each one of those units, just so you know, it can handle tilling for an entire master node. However, for compute, because remember, each node's doing, once the ecosystem is rolled out, each node will be doing two things. It will be doing tilling, which is essentially saying, hey, I'm here, I'm alive, like a little lighthouse. And the other side of it that actually generates revenue for you is the compute, where you take a bunch of AI computing tasks and you distribute them out over this network of nodes so they can all share in the workload, and you get paid for that, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's not up and running yet. That's the last stage. You have to build this network of hardware resources, compute resources before you turn on compute. So I would assume that's going to be 6-8 months from now, the compute side. The tilling side, that will be, I mean, really almost any day.
Yeah, people want to know when license plus token equal rewards for them. That's their main question.
Very, very soon. I would say in the next month, but I would say at the outside 6 weeks. But the thing is, I would urge people to go look at the video. Tufi and I did a video last night, and it released about an hour ago. And he goes into the nodes splitting. And, you know, one of the things that he says is that you can't go back in time. So once you get your nodes up and running and they are tilling, at least signaling to the community that you're alive, you're starting to build your reputation, and it's reputation, uptime, and compute. These are all figured in a ratio of 1.26, 1.26, 1.26. It's all kind of, and anyway, when they elevate to a point where it equals 2, your node split.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're doing compute, if your node splits, you now have the ability to earn twice as much. And if your nodes split 10 times, one node is now anyone?
Oh my gosh, 1,024, right?
1,024 nodes. So it's always tricky to say, like, we're speaking in logarithmic terms, kind of. Don't get this confused. This is not an MLM. You're not going to end up with getting a bicycle, and then your uncle gets a bicycle, and then the other uncle gets like a jet ski and a trip to the Bahamas. This is not that. This is simply that a little data center, when the workload is too high and the reputation, the full reputation of the node, meaning your compute score, your reputation score, your compute and uptime scores all together equal to, then it's like you have this coffee shop and it's doing too much business. And when it's doing too much business, you're like, yes, we're making money, but man, we're pushed to the limits. We need to split, and we need to open up another coffee shop across the street. And then that one gets built, and then we need to open up 2 more coffee shops. That's what this is. And so that one data center becomes 1,024 data centers. And I think that's good.
So a master license it's not a master node, right? It's a master license that's comprised of 512 nodes, right? And it's not the 10th, or it's not the 9th iteration of a split of a main node, right?
No, there are so many. Listen, there's a fixed amount of these things too. There's not an indefinite supply. There is a fixed amount to handle the total token count, which is 2.1 change billion tokens. And remember that each one of these tokens, these are placeholder tokens right now. These are not the native token. What will be embedded into these machines, whatever your hardware is, your node marries to not the placeholder token, but to the actual native token. Right. So that part is not live yet, but very soon.
The other question that we need to decide is the pool of tokens for people that don't have enough tokens. Are we going to create a pool?
No.
No.
No, we're not doing all that crap.
Okay, that's fine. I just was curious.
We're not becoming a central. We're not becoming a central bank of hypercycle. That's not what this is. If you want nodes, get nodes. If you don't want nodes, don't get nodes. If you want to participate in tilling and compute, do it. If you don't. Like, we're not convincing anyone to do anything, and we want to make sure that's very clear. You do you.
Oh, this is other one that I want to answer just right away here, because people are asking if they buy a license, can they transfer it next, or can they sell it next month? I'm telling people that no, don't worry about selling. This is like a long-term hold type of thing. we're not going to create like a marketplace to resell these things, because we want people that are going to be buying these things and just putting them to work for now. So if you're not committed to that, I would hold off.
Yeah. Well, listen, if you're just trying to flip it, this is probably not for you. You can go to the horse track. Now, if you fast forward a year and a half or two, and you've built up your nodes and they're generating income both through compute and tilling, and who knows, they may have a year and a half from now, every node will have probably split by then if it's actually plugged into the wall. So your node has split, maybe it's split twice, whatever. At that point, you have a little viable business. There's going to be a value beyond the revenue generating value, just like when you look at any business and then you do some kind of metrics and go, okay, let's see what the value of this is over the next 3 years. Somebody may want to purchase that from you. That matter of fact, they may say, oh, look how close this person is to splitting. Their score is 1.8. When they get to 2, their nodes are going to split again. So there's a value in all that. Yes, there's going to be marketplaces. And once we get to the point where we can give you your actually on-chain ownership of your nodes, as we kind of get this all sorted out, you can go do whatever the hell you want with it. We urge you to stay and participate and do all that. But if you want to grab your nodes and go F off, go F off. It's your stuff. You own your stuff. We don't own your stuff. This is just the only way we can do this for our community right now. So you get your node, you want to go sell it to somebody on the street for some quarters and a dime bag of meth, you do you, bro. You do.
I get this question a lot. What kind of revenue can we get? No, we don't know yet. This isn't like we have no clue. And so I'm not giving any answer to this one. And I put that on the FAQ. We just don't know. We can't even make assumptions. We know it's going to be decent. It's going to be worth it, but we just don't know a dollar amount, or we can't say anything. Howard, this is live. This is a live show. We see your comments. Sorry, we just haven't been able to respond to them. Sorry, bud.
Hey, let's make comments so that Howard thinks it's a live show.
Also, Howard, I did talk to your wife, and we were able to work through that. So that was actually pretty cool. There is so the next thing that I want to show here really quickly is on this page, there's a hypercycle node list. This is cool because I get a lot of questions. Oh, do you have my address? Do you have my address? I promise you, like, this is painstaking for me, but it's worth it because I'm making sure everything's happening. Every single order is like multiple minutes of my time per day. So even though we're getting a lot of orders, I go through and make sure that it's correct, make sure we have the wallet address, make sure that it transacted on the blockchain, make sure I have the correct number of nodes, and make sure we have all the contact information in case anything goes awry. Because right now we are going to be airdropping you NFTs to represent ownership for these licenses in the meantime, until we get the actual split go ahead from the software within Hypercycle. So,
we're talking to the team at Hypercycle like every day. Like Brandon is in communication with everybody. So when we physically can separate all of the bundles, the 8s and the 32s, and give people their tokens, we will just give you your tokens. You can go do whatever you want. Our intention is not to be the puppet masters of some people's token. We don't care where you go, what you do with them. Now, if you want to place your nodes in a location, we are building with one of our partners data centers that are going to expand and scale, and they're doing that as we speak. They're also working with Hypercycle. But you don't have to do that. You can do whatever you want. That's the whole. This is not some clever shenanigan where we're going to control the mining of the whole. We don't give a crap. We just want to make a place where people can get nodes. That's it.
Tower, that's a really good question. We're going to be handling the marrying of the node license to the tokens through the master node. So we're going to be doing that initial step. We will just have to get your tokens when the time comes. So as far as Captain Dan asked, can we pull your token? No, we cannot pull anything from your MetaMask. A signature has to be signed anytime anything is transacted. That's why we can't just go inside your public wallet and take anything we want. That doesn't work that way. So you're gonna
unless you give us your private keys and 12-word
passphrase,
and then we can.
This is going to be another step from you guys. You'll send. This is instant, almost instant, if it's done correctly. As far as this goes, right here, what I was saying is All the addresses that I have is actually, this is cool because this is in a spreadsheet now. If you want to go make sure that your address is correctly input or that it's correctly tracked, here's this little line here. Pay attention to this. This is when it's last updated. If you put in an order before this time, your wallet address should be on this sheet. All you need to do is go Control F, search your wallet address, and you'll be able to see if I have your wallet or not. If I do have your wallet, then I have your order and it's 100% good to go. If you've ordered after this time, then I've yet to put it in this sheet. Do not worry. That will be updated again here shortly today. So you should have all the new wallets in there today. So you can always go check that stuff out. It's really cool. So you can kind of check on your stuff too, make sure everything's in there. But that should be good.
There's no coupon code.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I get emailed about this. There's no coupon. There's a field in there in case we wanted to do a coupon. I'm going to delete that soon because I've gotten so many questions. I promise there is not.
No. The coupon should be 20% more. And then you pay 20% more. We would be the first ones with a coupon that actually costs more money. Hey, this could start something. It's like those listen, hold on just a second. Forget about crypto for just a second.
Yes.
Is anybody mad about this bull crap where, okay, I get it during COVID, all these little small mom and pop shops were like, oh, give us a tip. So you would go up, you swipe your phone or your credit card, and then they go like this. Oh, just answer a question. Just answer whatever question appears on the little box. Like they don't know what's about to happen. And then it goes 15%, 18%, 20% tip. So just real quick, I'm at Jersey Mike's. I give you money. You make me a Jersey Mike thing like you always do. What is the tip part of it? Why do I tip you for the sandwich that I was going to get anyway? That's this price. So anyway, but during COVID, everybody's broke week and it's like, okay, fine. Here's, I guess, 15% because I want you to spit on my sandwich. Well, now, Brandon, you know what the average tip you give people to not do anything? It's in LA, 20, 22, like 20. It's ridiculous, more ridiculous, and total bullshit ridiculous.
No, this is becoming a real problem. And now there's like people like making videos about this. The tipping has got out of control. This is stuff that we're already paying extra for the food. Like a sandwich doesn't cost a sandwich doesn't cost $14. That's what we're basically tipping the owner, so the owner can pay you whatever they feel you're worth.
Didn't it used to be that the tip was because they would come and hang out with you at the table and ask and then go like, and they would bring you your stuff and all this kind of crap. You're like, oh man, this waiter's cool. Where's the waiter? The person that walks by, if there's no waiter, then there's no tip. It doesn't make any damn sense.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was it. That was my derivative frustration. It has nothing to do with crypto.
That's a good frustration. That's important to note.
It doesn't make any sense.
Nope, it doesn't make any sense, and we should not have to deal with that. There should be no tipping unless there's a waiter or some extra service where the person is paid waiter wages. There's a different wage for a waiter and there's a different wage for a Volkster. That's funny. So stop it. You have no idea. You guys should see my email. My wife is killing me. I have been working 18 hours a day on this stuff. On my eyes are blood red because this is no complaint. We appreciate and we want to do this for you guys because we think this is going to be good. I have not been so excited about something in crypto in a long time. After watching Tufi's videos, after watching like Nick talk about this stuff, and after seeing the whole process, these nodes are going to be something really cool, really cool. And so we're excited to do this, but just know that I've responded to almost everything. And if you think you didn't get a response from me, don't be frustrated because it's probably in your spam mail. I just don't want you guys to be frustrated because I am like,
the message you probably got, Howard, is I released a video an hour ago, which was a video that we recorded last night with Tufi and I. This week in Hypercycle, we're doing it each week. So for those of you that haven't seen that, it's about almost 30 minutes. I think that's what it was referring to, not this. This is live. We are live. I can show you my watch.
This is true.
Oh,
This
it's
is
backwards.
this is live. No, it's forward. You're good. You're good.
Wait, you can see it?
Wait, this is yeah, we can see it. It was forward. We're good.
Because I saw it the
Or I
other
can see
way.
it forward.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's flipped for you, maybe. I don't know.
So weird. Anyway, okay. So let's
That's
switch gears. Should we get
That's
into some
enough.
actual news and AI
Yes.
stuff and talk about
Yes.
markets?
Yes, because I could talk about this stuff all day. We're gonna get it done. Anyway, we're good.
We'll get it done. We will get it done. Okay, so the AI news is kind of fun. We'll talk kind of meta first because that's kind of, I mean, of the things that I saw, that was one of the very interesting ones. Meta unveils a new language AI, and it basically has an open source AI model called Seamless M4T, and it translates and transcribes almost 100 languages, text and speech. Say what? That's a lot, bro. So that's pretty badass. Brandon, how many languages do you speak? Do you speak 100?
2. I only speak 2. Garbage.
Wait. You speak English and what? Pig Latin?
Romanian.
You don't
know
speak
Romanian,
Romanian.
right? Haida?
No one knows. No one can check you. We can't fact check you on that crap.
Vai de capul meu.
Kurwa mać.
Yeah,
suka. Okay. He's just making up. Those are just syllables. It's just gobbledygook baby talk. Anyway, Seamless M4T. Seamless M4T combines speech recognition, translation, and text to speech in one model. Text to speech, you have to switch languages mid-sentence if you want. Like, it's pretty badass. Anyway, the model was trained using tens of billions of scraped sentences and 4 million hours of speech data. So it's probably pretty good. Why does it matter? Multi-language models take us closer to this kind of idea of like having a universal translator. Would be badass. You could just talk and then you're like, hey, da 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 da, and it, like Brandon talks like just gibberish. And then on the other side of it, the other person heard like the language that you were trying to, the other language. Anyway, I think it'll be badass. And it will probably help, especially if you're traveling and stuff like that. Anyway, pretty cool. Okay. Code F. So Code F makes AI videos and edits pretty much like seamless. Researchers have developed a thing called Code F. It's an extremely impressive open source AI system that allows seamless style transfers and editing across video frames. So it introduced this new method that captures the static elements of a video with a reference image and then tracks how the image changes or morphs over time to match each video frame. It offers superior consistency across video frames from other methods and is capable of tracking non-rigid objects like water, smog, rain, mist, which is, you know, super cool. All the video editing technology is getting so good that I think won't be too many years before we can just say text to film. You'll just say what you want to see and the movie will show up. And then all those Hollywood writers will be like, I used to have a job 8 years ago, but I don't believe in technology.
No more writer strikes.
Yeah, no more writer strikes because no more writers. Oh,
dang.
Oops. Anyway, the model enables easy application of image edits to the entire video and can track key points without training, meaning you don't have to spend 4 million hours training it with information. It's pretty badass. AI has already unlocked some pretty mind-blowing capabilities if you're thinking about like video editing, but this might be one of the most impressive models kind of to date. Of course, everything in AI every day is the most impressive version of it every day. That's like the new world that we live in. So, okay. Mid-Journey debuts in-painting features. Do you know what that is, Brandon? In-painting?
Mm-mm.
So basically, in an image, you can go into an image and select an area, and then you can go in and change that area. So you have in-painting, which is inside an image. Look, imagine a painter, like you have a painting of a painter painting a painting. You could then go into the painting and change the art style. Yeah.
I think I've seen this. I've actually seen. Yeah, I've seen these go. They keep diving deeper into the image type of thing. Yeah,
And
those
now,
look cool.
so you can do all sorts of stuff in that image. You can also do what's called out painting. And that is you have an image that's this big and the rest of the screen is white or empty. And you can have it paint outward and just keep style consistency and things like that. So it's pretty badass. Anyway, OpenAI unlocks GPT 3.5 Turbo fine tuning. They just launched a massive product upgrade, which enables the fine tuning of GPT 3.5 Turbo. It allows developers, excuse me, to customize models for better performance on very specific tasks. And early tests show that when you fine tune GPT 3.5 Turbo can now match GPT 4. You're like, well, what if I want to use 4? And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but GPT 3.5 is much less chip intensive, data intensive. And so the idea is getting smaller and smaller, well, models that are small enough that they can be run on smaller devices with less resources, and then have them do very specific things really well, or they can make calls to other pools of data without all of it having to be in one place. So all of this is going to make large language models. Matter of fact, I listened yesterday to Wolfram. Stephen Wolfram was giving a speech about large language models and how they are overly complex right now, and how it's not super intuitive that a lot of the things that they do that they would do. That, like, very few people thought transformer networks would lead, like if you put a big pile of data in a bag and put a lookup engine on top of it, that it would lead to the kind of responses that we get. So a lot of really smart people are kind of grappling with, like, I don't understand why it does what it does, but it does. So there we go. And it turns out that if you have a big enough pile of data generated by humans and you have a lookup engine and a next word predictor, it's pretty good at predicting the kinds of responses that we find to have a lot of utility. So really cool. Okay, so there's that. Snapchat. Oh, Snapchat. They prep a fantasy AI selfie maker. I'm not even going to go into that. Just assume that you could put Mr. Johnson in a knight's uniform, I guess. Oh, God. Snapchat. Why is that even a thing? What a
I don't know.
What a just a wretched, creepy douchebag farm. Anyway, there you go. Okay. Let's see. The only other news I thought was cool. 11 Labs. They have their voice cloning product that now goes for 30 languages, and it does voice replication for video games and audiobooks. So, which is kind of cool, because I think you'll be able to start consuming audiobooks. You'll be able to choose the language, choose the narrator, all this kind of stuff. Oh, there's a whole bunch of other people that are out of work. All those human voice actors that won't work anymore. Oh, two things for India. One is not really related. You know, India landed a craft on the moon.
Oh yeah, they're the 4th country, right?
Yeah.
I just heard this. Yeah.
The Russians tried to, but theirs blew up.
Okay.
They were trying, I guess their retro rocket or whatever it lit the whole thing on fire. But the Indians just landed like a few hours ago. That's kind of cool. Okay. And then India, also unrelated to moon landings, even though they're all fake apparently. What are all the fake moon landing people saying now? Do they think this too is fake, or is this real but the other stuff was fake?
Yeah, good question. I don't know, because.
And what about all the flat earthers? Are the flat earthers looking up at the disc-shaped moon like, no, like, come on, bro. God.
Yes.
They need your shirt. Not that one.
Not this one.
India aims to overcome challenges in rural regions by introducing conversational payments. Now, first, like, conversational payments, say what? They're doing, so they have a thing called UPI, Universal Payments Interface. And they have around 350 million UPI users, like almost all the people in the United States. The problem is they have kind of spotty internet and very low literacy. in rural areas. And this is obviously a hurdle. So the Reserve Bank of India's plan involves AI-based speech recognition for voice-activated mobile payments. And it will enable users to make verbal transfer instructions on their phones. And this reflects India's kind of digital shopping trends, because no one should not be able to buy some Gucci shoes, whether you live in India, sub-Saharan Africa, or right here in the good old US of I'm in debt A. Anyway, so
That's not true.
wait, it's not true that we're in debt, or it's not true that
Are
everyone
we
should
in
be able to
debt? I
buy?
haven't noticed. I've been under a rock.
Well, everybody's in debt.
Yeah.
Everybody's in debt, and like, oh God, now there's even. I'm not going to get into the whole school, the student loan thing. That's a whole damn $1.6 trillion quagmire.
That would be like another tangent, like the tipping tangent that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I know, but man, that's a whole one. I do a whole hour on that. Anyway, this technology aims to make digital payments more accessible across the country. So on the one hand, voice technology, AI tech is getting really, really good and impossible to discern from humans and non-humans. And on the other side, they're rolling out a big giant payment system that functions on voice. I don't see that there'd ever be any problem here. I think everything's fine. That's
I believe you.
okay. NVIDIA introduces DLSS 3.5, which is a new neural rendering technology for gaming. They're doing a lot of badass gaming stuff. I'm not going to go into it.
You know what happened with NVIDIA today?
What?
You know?
No.
They became the 5th company in the world to reach $1 trillion market cap today. So now there's 5 companies that exceed the value of crypto altogether. NVIDIA is making some moves, I tell you what, because obviously they have earnings coming out today, and they can make a big play. I mean, AI, that's up our field right here. So
Chinese animation house is putting a bunch of AI tools and capabilities to the test. Base Media, and they're renowned for contributing to Hollywood hits like Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, terrible movie, Obi-Wan Kenobi. But anyway, visually, this stuff is cool. It's just that the movie sucked. Anyway, they're going to use these really kind of badass generative AI systems. They've announced firm kind of these resource-intensive 3D locations for animation production. So I have a buddy who's got a place, an Unreal Studio. Do you know what these are, Brandon? So
yeah, the Unreal, the GP, the engines, the graphics engines, right?
Right, but this guy has a giant, like, think of like a giant aquarium, like the size of like half a football field, and it's all green screen. The floor, the walls, 40 feet high. It's suspended. There's like for stunts and all that kind of stuff. They have like cables and all this kind of crap. Anyway, so an Unreal Engine, anywhere you put the camera. So let's say you shoot a scene and you go, oh man, I didn't like the camera there. It should have been like 12 feet that way or 3. You don't have to do it. You just go click, 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 click. And it's as if it was over there, and then the film is different. Like, it makes the adjustment, like locational spatial changes with cameras and stuff. It's badass. Or like you're shooting the scene, like, oh, we're going to miss the sunset. No, you're not. Click, 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 click. Woo, woo. Anyway, really cool stuff. So they're doing Base Media explorations, aligns with its mission to maintain industry leadership and blah, 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 blah. They want to do really cool stuff with really complex scenes. And hey, China wants to produce high quality Hollywood level, although Hollywood level meant a lot more back when movies didn't suck. But anyway, yeah. Okay. That's about it. Healthcare, the only healthcare news I thought was cool. Microsoft and Epic expand AI collaboration to accelerate generative AI's impact in healthcare in a variety of places. Like, there's a lot of money going into AI healthcare, which is good. We talked about like the X-ray assistants the other day that look at like X-rays and look for like signs of cancer and stuff like that. That's pretty badass. Genesis Therapeutics closed a $200 million Series B to advance AI discovered drug pipelines. That's kind of cool. And you know who's in on it. It's The returning investors were Andreessen Horowitz, Fidelity, BlackRock, NVIDIA Ventures. Anyway, I would have gone one more time, but I thought it was a gratuitous. Meta confirms an AI off switch coming to Facebook and Instagram in Europe. Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, has confirmed it will introduce a non-personalized content feed on its platform ahead of the August 25th deadline for compliance with the Digital Services Act, which is that big bullshit thing that the Europeans threw together to make sure that no one in Europe ever gets a leg up, and that they're all at least a decade behind everyone else, both in dental care and in AI. The dental care part, I just made that up, but seriously, they have terrible teeth. Microsoft is extending their Edge product. Yeah, that's it. It's an unending. There's mounds of stuff, and the whole ethics things, all this AI signaling bullshit. But anyway, that's where we're at. Whew, we got through it, bro.
A lot of news.
Let's get to maybe some cryptos and some markets, and then kind of open it up
for the markets.
Some preguntas. Get us.
Yeah. Is preguntas? Is that questions or what is that?
Get us some good preguntas.
Okay. Because remember.
I don't know why it brings me so much pleasure to just be able to cut you off for one or two words each time I hit that thing.
It cracks me up.
It feels so good. It's so good. Okay. Just real quick. You think anybody should be holding BNB tokens right now? It was something I found I've actually found a bunch of articles. If you scour the crypto news, which I do because I'm a nerd with no life, there's a lot of articles right now about BNB being just an absolute just dumpster fire. And it's, if you start hearing a bunch of information and people are like, oh, it's just FUD, fear, uncertainty.
No, let's get to the base of it. Why does BNB exist? Why is it there, right? It's there because Sleazy put it there.
Sleazy CZ.
That's it. It doesn't solve any problems that the other cryptos don't solve, right? The other, like Ethereum, any of the other ones, right? So the only person really buying BNB and holding up the prices is CZ.
Well, so Binance, maybe you've heard about their issues with Russia.
Oh no.
Maybe some sanction dodging. Anyway, Binance is facing more legal issues with reports claiming it has violated Russian sanctions. I don't know how you violate. Do Russians have sanctions? I mean, sanctions against Russian, sure. Despite their legal issues, the BNB token has held up pretty well. But there are a bunch of red flags, not just that it's Sleazy CZ, not just that he's on the run from everyone, and that he's kind of quasi-partnered up with Justin Sun, who's on the run from everyone. That guy can't go anywhere. The U.S. will arrest him on sight. Like a bunch of governments have these dudes all have like hanging warrants out for their arrest. How do you have all these warrants and then just like go on these radio stations and these internet shows like, hey, everything's great. Everything's not great, bro. You step out of your house and you're gonna get hogtied and marched into anyway, God. The native token of the Binance ecosystem, that is the BNB token. And it is at a 1-year low. It's down over 30% over the last month as it kind of careens from one crisis to the next. It's come under pressure this week amid a report published in the Wall Street Journal over claims it is violating Russian sanctions. Now, let me tell you what the worst thing was for Binance. When Binance correctly exposed the piece of shit that was Sam Bankman-Fried, it made Mr. Douchebag Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary, look like a complete damn jackass, which he is, that knows nothing about crypto, which he doesn't, but he went on this vendetta like, you made me lose a lot of money, so I'm going to make you lose a lot of money. And it has galvanized his hatred for Binance. So it is what it is. But apparently people still listen to that dumbass. You know that like nobody on Shark Tank, none of those businesses ever make any money. Like 1 out of like 100 of those things, they're all flop skis. Like Mark Cuban's record is like, no, he's not had one profitable investment in 54. But genius investor. Let's listen to Mark Cuban. Genius investor. Anyway, so not helping matters was a separate issue regarding an erroneous tweet from Binance saying euro deposits and withdrawals have been suspended. But apparently that was a mistake tweet. Like, oh, we didn't mean that. That was a mistake tweet. Binance's European banking partner PaySafe clarified that transactions would be available until September 25th, after which support for Binance will be withdrawn following a strategic review. Strategic review. Methinks the lady doth protest the exact correct amount. These guys did a whole thing where they're like, you got to get out. It's going to, but anyway, there's not a lot of financial disclosure with Sleazy CZ. Following the FTX collapse in November, scrutiny fell on Binance to be more transparent. The exchange responded by publishing a proof of reserves report. Hey, Brandon, I'm going to give you a proof of reserve. Are you ready?
Crap. Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, that works. That's like
proof of reserve.
That's like it's the
Anybody
Dumb and
else
Dumber
want it?
IOU. It's the IOUs that were in the briefcase for Dumb and Dumber. Same
Make
thing.
sure I didn't
right?
just disclose some private keys.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I've done that before. I've had to get a new wallet once because I did that.
Proof of reserve, everyone. Read them and weep. Read them and weep. Okay, make me those loans. Your money is safe with me because proof of reserves. Let's see. O'Leary has a channel full of, he's got his people gobble him up. Let's just put it that's the nicest way I can say that. And he's such a dirtbag. I mean, I will say this, Kevin O'Leary's not a thief, right? He's an idiot. In the same way that Mark Cuban's not a thief, he's an idiot. And Mark Cuban's a humanitarian. He's like a decent dude. He goes and he does a lot of really good things and he helps a lot of people. So on those aspects, I'm not hating. But do not get your marching orders from either of these two jackasses. They will bankrupt your ass quick as S. It's easy when you're spending other people's money. When you're gathering up other people's cash and spending it for them, you're like, oh, we lost, like Kathy Woods. Oh, hey, we lost the last 7 years, but we had a good first year. Thanks, Kathy. Good for you, because you got all those fees. You're, a centimillionaire. I mean, bad for us as investors. We lost everything we had, but good for you, though, Kathy. Yeah, I mean, that is how it works. When you're looking at these hedge funds, man, if you better look at their track record. And these guys like Raoul Pal, these failed fund managers, failed Goldman Sachs dudes, they're all out there telling you. He was jack wagoning it yesterday, giving it the large one about, oh, Ethereum, it's getting ready to break out. You've been saying that for 2 years, you dickbag. These dudes, they just keep saying the same crap. Yeah, if you keep saying something for 4 years, at some point the price will go up, and then you're going to do a video. I told you. I told everybody. Yeah, but you told us when it was 4,000, dummy. Oh, God. Go ahead, Brandon. That's it. That's all I got.
That's what do I need to stop you on this situation? Yeah, let's go over markets. Gosh dang.
Anyway, to answer the question, no.
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 The only thing, and I've seen a couple of comments, to restake some of the, if you have or if you have like any of the SDAO tokens on the BNB network, then you're going to want to keep 1 or 2 BNB around just to like do transactions and stuff. But the BNB token itself, you don't really need to hold as an investment. That's not on our
I keep a 1 BNB token in the wallet that I use in my MetaMask wallet on the BNB chain only because I have some Hypercycle, some SDAO, no, not SDAO, Hypercycle and Rejuve. And Hypercycle and Rejuve on the BNB chain at Singularity DAO. That's the only reason I've got it. And I got landlocked over there. Otherwise I wouldn't even do that. Brandon, were you trying to share something, or you want to, should we keep going here?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. What I saw in the markets is I just watched Bitcoin flirt in the 20, got as low as 25.7. That's what I saw. Just kind of floating around 25 to 26. I'm still not interested in owning it, but I'm more interested than I was at 30. I think I would take a flyer on Bitcoin in the 20K range. Me personally, I'm not, again, this is not advice. The show, we don't give advice until September 1st. So until then, this is just whimsy, but I would not whimsically own Bitcoin right now. I think there's too many headwinds. I think it's just abundantly clear that the world is choking and China doesn't look good and Japan doesn't look any better. And people's like, well, I like it how the same people that say that China is going to raise everyone up, it's going to bring everyone along with reopening, the economy is going to be awesome. Okay, great. So like all these problems with your business, China's just going to solve it. But then China starts going backwards and China starts telling you, hey, we're having trouble. And everybody's like, oh, we're decoupling. It's decoupled. China doesn't matter. China mattered yesterday. China was part of your own personal bailout. So if China mattered yesterday, how come it don't matter today? Oh, because we're decoupling. Oh, because China's going backwards. So when China's going down, we're decoupling. It's the same thing when people talk about inflation, dumbasses that don't know what they're saying, they'll go, oil, look at the price of oil and energy. It's going up. That's inflation. And then when oil and energy goes down, they're like, well, that's not really part of the inflation metric. That's not really part of CPI. You got to back out energy and oil. But you didn't back it out yesterday when it was going up. Now that it's going down, it doesn't count, right? So, God, there's a lot of like auditing, real-time auditing of the numbers so that people can justify any and rationalize just any response they want. What I would urge everyone to do in these kind of quiet times is simply reduce your thinking to what you think are quality assets. And again, September, we're going to just be building portfolios, starting from scratch. We're going to do all of this like school child simple, starting September 1st here in like a few weeks. But I would urge you right now to be looking at the assets that you think are quality and deciding why you think they're quality. Forget about buying anything. You shouldn't spend a dime on anything for the next couple of weeks. What you should do is spend some time thinking about in your portfolio, what are the assets you're willing to own, understanding that we're not out of this bearish season yet, but that we eventually will be. You want to know what you own. You want to feel like you have a chip in the game of what the future is going to look like. You want to be investing in the path of progress. I think it's important right now to be thinking in those terms. And along those lines, that has me kind of focused on layer ones. I'm not a fan of Ethereum, but I got to use it. And if you got to use it, you got to have some. I am a fan of Cardano. They just keep doing really cool stuff and no one cares. And the reason is because we still haven't seen those apps, those use cases that actually move the needle. Now, people can say what they want. They can get all emotional and bullshitty and all this. And it doesn't, at a certain point, it doesn't matter if company A or B or C has all this great technology. It's the Algorand story, which is you can have all of the cool tech you want. If it doesn't do anything, if no one plugs into it, it don't matter. It's just a black box on a desk. Algorand is a box on a desk. Yeah, it may have all the promise in the world, but no one cares. And no one at Algorand chooses to discuss it. Now, in Cardano's case, it's actually a weird story in that it has a lot of use. It has a lot of utility, and there's quite a bit of adoption. Tons of code pushes, tons of on-chain activity. Price is just not going up. And that could be a function of the overall kind of environment, like the psychological environment of the market. That's not nothing, right? The way people feel is the way people feel. So in my opinion, of the layer ones, it's the best hope, right? I love Cosmos, Atom, and they have a lot of really cool tech, but no one cares. And so you have to be honest, with where we are at in these kind of market cycles and realize that some of that is a function of the deep depression and kind of sadness of the low markets and all this. For me, I'm just trying to think, okay, where am I going to be in this bullish expansionary market? How can I buy something right now for 10 cents that's probably worth $1 or $1.50 18 months from now? That's where my head's at. So I'm thinking I am, and especially now when prices are so depressed, there's probably a lot of 10Xs on the board. Probably. We're not going to get them all.
You could throw 3 darts at the board and probably hit 2 10Xs right now, in my opinion.
I think. Yeah, and I'm not going to start going through what I think are 10Xs and all that. At least not.
This is our board right here. This is not the global board, because I would say the chances reduce drastically if you get off this board here that we're looking at.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff out there. And even on this board, everything here is not quality. Like Monero's not quality. It's just that I'm curious about privacy coins because I'm curious about when Midnight launches their Dust token, which is a layer 2. It's a privacy chain of Cardano. When that launches, I'm just curious about how privacy coins, how do they kind of, move around when the other market's moving around in other ways. So I'm just kind of watching it as a proxy just to get a feel for the pulse of it. Optimism, still strong, still swinging strong. Graph, I added a tiny bit of graph the other day. I had like $300 left in a wallet. And I was like, you know what? Those are some graph dollars. Because I'm thinking, I'm thinking it's not ever gonna hit 289. I don't know about ever, but it's not likely to ever hit 289 again. But
that's a moonshot. That's a moonshot.
But it could be 50 cents. It could be 50, 60 cents, especially if Tika and all these other douchebag gurus.
And are you okay? Are you okay with a nice 5X?
I would take a 5X. Yeah.
I would take a 5X.
I would take any X's. All my X's live in my digital wallets. All right. Algorand. Oh, God. Anyway, let's just get on past it. Let's get on past that crap. Flow, Letdown City. Ocean. Yes. That's probably one of my next dollar cost average days, which is Thursday. Tomorrow. Yeah, it is tomorrow. So that's going to be a little ocean day for me. Singularity Net, it's under 20 cents. So I'm adding, again, I'm not telling anybody to do anything. I'm just kind of giving you an idea what I'm doing. Fetch, I don't know why it's 20 cents. I would rather it be 15 cents. So I'm not adding. Arweave, yes. Raven, no. Why is that even on there? Oh yeah, I know. Because an exchange that went belly up still owes me almost 1 million of them. And I've watched it come down from about, 25 cents. What a dumpster fire. Anyway,
remember, as we're going through this stuff, next week is when we start our portfolio month, when we're going to be diving into.
That'll be Friday, right? September 1st is our official first public thing.
Well, we start locking up Monday, but then Friday will be our first where we hop into portfolio month. So, yep, exactly.
And for those of you that just don't want to join us, that's fine. We're still going to be putting out tech tip videos. We're still going to be putting out this weekend hypercycle videos. We're going to start doing weekly segments on twin protocol to help people build twins.
You just won't get all the actual deep information.
Right. And I think we're going to experiment with doing like the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, first 10, 15 minutes.
So that people can say like we're here and then we're behind the wall, baby. Behind the wall. All right.
Exactly.
Okay. That's kind of all I've got. Remember, September's portfolio building month. Okay. Here's the task. Don't do it yet. First of all, there's 174 people watching. So at least can we get like 100 likes? We don't put commercials.
Wait till the very end to say this because you know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Don't do this right now, man. If you do this right now, it won't show up. It's got to be after the video is over with.
And what are you going to say? Do you have something really good or good? Okay.
Well, I was just going to say, I want people to list the reason in the comments after the video so other people can see it. These comments disappear, by the way. So it's once the video is done and it's being replayed, go and list the 3 assets that you own that you will be getting rid of or that you would be willing to, but like, see you later, bye. Like, for instance, I might say like, Algorand and Flow and, something like that. I mean, that's 2 of my 3. But anyway, but we want to hear
like that
from you guys. Okay.
The other thing that I did want to mention here is
Go on. This is
the member dashboard here. This is everything. This, just like Nick said, this chat disappears as soon as the show ends. But guess what? I am building a member chat where members can go in and leave member chats, like so everybody can see. So if there's questions you have and you're a member, you go and ask that thing. So now you're going to be able to have a permanent all the time chat in the member area that we're going to be able to respond to. So that's what I'm building next. So stay tuned for that. I'm hoping to have that this week.
Remember Bada Town.
This hypercycle thing has kind of pushed me back. Holy cow.
Yeah, there's a lot, man. Anyway, we'll see you. Brandon, we'll have a tech tip hopefully tomorrow for Thursday. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. Don't do anything. My poor insolvent drunk starting on meth grandmother or Brandon with his Don't Be Stupid shirt. It's true. Don't be stupid. That's the worst thing you can be. There's not anything worse than stupid.
No, that's the worst.
That's the only thing you can't fix stupid. You can fix everything else. Just not stupid.
If you're an accredited investor and you want in on angel, seed round, or early round equity and token opportunities in the artificial intelligence and cryptocurrency space, schedule an interview at nickblacknext.com. In life, you can either be really good, really lucky, or just be first. Being first is so much easier. Schedule a digital private client interview today at nickblacknext.com.